Lebetkin, the Rabbi from another planet! Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring that little bell. Ring the little bell so you're notified when new videos drop. So this is a series of videos I've been doing, actually. Since the special started. It's gonna be while I adjust my bobble. I'm not even talking code. Where I do my preview, like I said, the preview of the episode right before it airs, and then you get my initial reaction afterwards. I think it's an interesting, snapshot in time. So I haven't watched it again yet. I'm recording this on December 26th morning, right? So I haven't watched it again yet. I am going to watch it again today. And the second watch, you get a much better idea. But generally speaking, I was very favourable to it. I went into it not thinking I would like it at all. I really did. I mean, because the specials were not to my taste, and also I think not very good. And they've just been saying a lot of things about that didn't seem like it would work to me at all. Right? I saw it, and I really think it did work. I think it worked on many levels. I think one of the most important levels it works on is that I would be comfortable watching this with my kids aged anything, or grandkids aged between 5 and 12, right? Oh, 8, 5 and 13, whatever, that age group, that's the sweet spot, right? I see a lot of people on the fandom menacy side of fandom, like very angry with it, right? Very angry to say they could never possibly do that, and there's a push to make Doctor Who be more mature, and I really look. Doctor Who can be many things, right? It can be very hard science fiction, like the Chris Beanamid stuff with Stephen Gallagher. I mean, other than what's it called? The Gorn, not the Gorn. Is it the Gorn? No, the Gorn's from Star Trek. What's the big doggy guy from Terminus? Not the Morn. That's also from Star Trek. The Garn, right? Other than the Garn, right? It's a very good hard sci-fi story, and there's basically a lot of season 20 of very good hard sci-fi stories. So it can be like that, but I think Doctor Who works better when it's being more City of Death, which is a bit silly, right? A bit silly. So there were vague scientific explanations for the magical elements in it, and I think you could read it as either they're magic if you want to, but that doesn't work for me at all. But it will seem to be the Doctor experiencing a new type of science as he encountered it, which that really interests me. But look, paring this down, I think what really did work from it was Shooting Out, where I thought he really convinced me as a Doctor much more than he did when he appeared in The Giggle. Right, he really had that Doctor, authoritative, run for your life, kind of like, gravitas behind it. So that I think was really great. Also really great was Billy Gibson. I mean, look, it's no stranger that I find her very easy on the eyes, right? Very easy on the eyes. But boy, did she really bring it. And she really, I think, carried the episode because it was all around her. Right, the Doctor was more of a mysterious figure coming in and out of her life, but it was really revolving around her. She was able to carry, and there's a lot of emotional depth going on that she was able to carry. But the thing they really did best, I think, was the Doctor companion relationship, which is pure classic Doctor Who, right? Absolute pure classic Doctor Who. Sarah Jane Smith and the Fourth Doctor, Joe Grant and the Third Doctor, like two great friends that just freaking love each other. Right, I mean, I always think, the most archetypal Doctor Who companion moment is when Joe Grant throws herself in front of the Doctor in the Daemons, right, to say, no, kill me, whatever. That really strikes me as being great Doctor Who to me, and this had that same DNA, right? The specials did them a massive disservice, right? You would have thought David Tennant, I'm just adjusting my bubble here, you would have thought a huge budget 3 episodes introduction from David Tennant would be nothing but beneficial, right? Everything was great about being that. No, right? If they aired this on the 60th, or they didn't do the 60th anniversary, they did something else, if they aired this, if you didn't have the baggage of those 3 episodes, which were tired, right? I mean, look, okay, take out the very obnoxious, loud messaging that it screamed its way through the end of the Star Beast, which I think just destroyed it destroyed this new era. It like strangled it at birth, and I think it was really quite tragic that it did that. But and the strange Indian Isaac Newton is just silly, right? It's just absolutely silly. Other than so. Other than those things, you have the Tennant tape 60th. Were just tired stories. It struck me that no, David Tennant surely shouldn't come back. I mean, maybe for a 5 Doctors sort of thing, but like, they just were past it, right? They just weighted down with like all this lore and story, and it just. It didn't sing. It didn't flow, right? I don't think again, even without those really obnoxious messaging moments. So I didn't think there was really much hope for this new era at all after watching those. But now, and that's how I went into this episode, watching. You'll see in the preview, right? I went into it like, oh, what's it gonna be, right? Because more of the same seemed likely, right? But yeah, no, this is, it just seemed Doctor Who completely unburdened by extraneous story, and you have a Time Lord, a madman in a box, a Time Lord and his best friend having adventures in space and time. So that's what I think we're going to look at, and they're building up new lore, a new story, which is fine, right? That you want that to do that. So for me, where I am right now, it really, really works. I'm going to watch it again and have some deeper thoughts about it, right? Deeper thoughts. But like one of my big takeaways is there was a Millie Gibson's in a band, and there's a trans singer or lead singer in it. And it's so distracting. It's like, it's so off-putting because, and I think that's one of the really things Russell Davies is really off about. It's that he has this weird belief that the more visibility there is to the trans world, the more acceptance there will be. I think it's the absolute opposite, right? Because here's the thing. There's acceptance when you have something new being normalized and you see the new thing being normal, right? People in EastEnders or in the 80s or I bet it was the 80s when you started having gay people on TV in normal mainstream thing. They were just gay people being normal, right? They were being normal, right? You had Gary and whatever his name is on. What was the guy's name when he said? I can't remember. Barry. I said Barry. Barry and I can't remember. I can't remember. And they were just normal people being normal. Sometimes they would hold hands. I mean, then they moved into kissing, which is like has become much more normalized since the 90s. Obviously, still skeeves me out, but like I still see that as being my own hang up, and I'd shut up about it, right? Because why? Because I'm seeing two normal people be normal. Let them be normal. There's no way. You could, like they showed this trans person last night in the band, which was clearly a bloke, right? Clearly somebody without a vagina and with a penis, right? Without a vagina and tits and with a penis, right? Clearly, right? Wearing makeup and with tights and it doesn't look normal. No matter how many times you show it to me, it's not going to look normal, Russell, right? And you're doing more of a disservice. Like Drag Queen Story Hour was a bad idea. The trans world basically, I'm not saying needs to go undercover, but needs to get out the faces of children, right? Because to me, it looks like it's a kink. It doesn't look like an identity. It looks like a sexual kink, which you're welcome to have. But I also think part of the kink is being seen as being in normative situations, right? And it's just not normal. Like, why did Dylan Mulvaney tank Bud Light? Because he's freaking weird, right there. Is a guy wearing a dress? Obviously a guy, and I think he's doing a parody of trans, quite frankly. Right, so yeah, I think that idea of having more visibility for trans people is going to lead to less acceptance of trans people, and especially when it's like forced acceptance, like behind a gun. I think, and generally speaking, I think it's going to lead to greater problems for the LGBT. Like normal gay people, right? No, I'm not LGBTQIA. They're the weirdos. I'm not normal gay, but I think it's going to lead to greater problems for gay people around the world. So that's a miss, but that was like a very minor part of it. Anyway, fine. Let's get into the video. I'll waffle for long enough. So again, we'll start off. This is December 25th. right before the episode airs, I'm doing the previews. You see me being trepidatious, and then we'll go to my initial first impressions, which again somewhat amazed. So here, let me head over to me from. Oh, it was last night. Let me head over. I nearly just vomited in my own mouth. Okay, don't do that if you're recording a video, especially not onto camera either. Let me head over to me from last night. Depends how lucky you get, right? Depends how lucky you get. Let's look at the Church on Ruby Road. Oh, Keith Thump. Essential information, Monday, December 25th. Now, I don't know, by the way. maybe it's I also mean it's not on Disney Plus until the next day. I don't check Disney Plus the next day, I think. Oh no, I think I did with the giggle. It wasn't on the night of the giggle. I remember now. I think maybe it just goes live at the same time as everybody else's. I don't know. Maybe that happens. They're plugging me in What If. I don't give a shit about your What If, mate. Leave me alone with your What If shit. Doctor Who. Special 4, should I say? Special hand job. No, special 4. If you ask them the right places, that's what you get. No, not on Disney Plus in Israel. You cunts. You absolute cunts. Anyway, I digress. You know, it isn't Christmas City's tale that say that Disney are cunts. And it really isn't. It really isn't. It's just one of our little traditions. So in Shooty Gatwa, Millie Gibson, Michelle Greenberg, Angela Winter, who else? Anita Davina McCall. Now, I don't know who Davina McCall is, as it happens, right? Ruby Sunday is digging into her past, hoping to find the answers to shake off the string of bad luck she seems to follow her everywhere she goes. When she meets a mysterious stranger, he's about to find answers. She's about to find more answers than she bargained for. Fine. Quote, don't quote. Doctor, Health and Safety, Gin and Tonic Division. Can I ask, do you get that a lot? Knocking things over? All the time. I'm just clumsy. No, you're not. It's worse than that. Merry Christmas. I know. Listen, I'm looking forward to seeing him. I'm wishing him the best. I hope he does a good job. I hope he doesn't start jacking off a bloke next to him in the middle of the episode, right? I hope he's not doing poppers in the toilets, right? I hope this is kind of like Doctor Who. It's not too freaking gay, right? It doesn't seem to be. I mean, I can't believe that's the bar, right? That is really the bar. I hope it's not too gay. I know, problems. Look, problem being, he's still here or did he leave? Could you imagine going back in time and telling your young self that there'll be being too much gayness and too many lesbians? If I told my 16-year-old self there'll be too many lesbians, I'll be like, there's no such thing. Are they all wearing heels? Oh man. Strange but true, right? Strange but true. Well, of course, nowadays you don't have to be to have sex with the same sex to be gay, right? You could just you feel that way. Yeah, that was part of Ricky Gervais's thing tonight. Oh my god, so freaking funny. Rabbi ignoring chat and chat ignoring Rabbi and having fun conversation. Well, I like to make a warm forum for everyone. She cried. It's embarrassing for people like you, but I'm sure it is. Oh god, I can't imagine if you had the most obnoxious infantile Jews in the world were running Judaism, right? Hi, we want to complain. Really? Just get in that place to complain. What? It's called. Why does it say gas chamber outside? No reason. No reason, darling. No reason. In you get. It's not Christmas. Christmas isn't Christmas till the rabbi makes a gas chamber joke. Anyway, there we go. Since 2005, Doctor Who has been a big part of Christmas as Holly Mistletoe presents Craig. Well, yeah, I always found that kind of weird, though. The way that Doctor Who was kind of referred to only fools and horses. I'm like, it wasn't always like that. What are you talking about? But I guess in the living memory for people who came in with the new era, yeah. Well, this year there's rejoicing because Doctor Who is back. One of the biggest bonehead moves of Chibnall ever, right? Biggest bonehead moves. He left Christmas. Well, this year sees rejoicing in the streets because Doctor Who is back. Doctor Who, complete with new Doctor, new companion, new monsters, new thrills, and more excitement than a box of squirrels. Well, that's weird. By the way, here, I couldn't download this. As we're doing this, this is just bizarre. It's the only way I can describe it. This is a Christmas greeting from the new editor of Doctor Who magazine, who I find him really dodgy, right? I mean, here, look, when you see the video, you can agree with me, but I do. I just find him like he doesn't. I don't know. There seems to be something strange going on with it, right? Here we go. Video as DWM ed. Doink. Here it goes. Doink. Present video file. Check this guy out.
Well, it's Christmas Eve here at Doctor Who magazine, and we'd like to thank you all for reading this year and all your support.
Look, dude, there is not one Doctor Who piece of shit around up there, right? This guy, like, I don't know, just strikes me as a massive phony.
Doctor Who, it's enough to warm even the coldest of hearts. Gee, I love it, and I hope you love it too. Don't forget, Christmas.
I mean, like, dude, there's something weird going on there, right? Are you taking the piss? I can't tell.
Day, The Church on Ruby Road on BBC One, BBC iPlayer, and Disney Plus. Merry Christmas!
Like, was that like a corporate thing he had to do? I don't know. I don't get it. Weird and creepy. Doctor Who magazine is a bit weird and creepy now, right? I would say a bit weird and creepy. Fine, where we at? Okay, fine. Can I do the whole thing up here? Well, this year's rejoicing in the streets because Doctor Who is back. Kind of like that. With new festive bang, complete with new Doctor, blah, blah, blah. So what are you going to get? What's going to get excited? Well, would love to tell you, but we can't get him. We can tell you about goblins. There's plenty to get excited about without paddling about in a paddling pool of spoilers. Okay, fine. Spoilers and mash. This is so written by that bloke. Who wrote this? This feels like it's written by him. Right? This feels like the guy he started his job doing Whizzer and Chips as the sub deputy editor. Fine. We can't get into it. First off, we got a brand new Doctor in the shape of shooting up. We know! You said it 4 times in this fucking article, and he was on the cover of the magazine, moron. Yeah, it used to be Doctor Who was for smart people. Me, that's the thing that really Whittaker and Chibnall killed, right? Doctor Who used to be for smart people. Now it's just for, like, dolts. Like, whoever's writing it, this strikes me as an adult, unless they're taking the piss, which might be. We have a brand new companion in the form of Ruby Sunday. Yes, we know. And they're going to have the coolest, they're going to be the coolest duo ever. Oh, man, this is the first preview that's made me want to shoot myself, right? As Russell D. Davis excitedly told me, Shooty and Millie, they're arriving on the biggest day of the year and the biggest channel in the world. Not really. It's terrifying, bristling, but also I'm so excited. I feel as though I've been keeping the secret for so long. I think that really hasn't been much to show us yet. I mean, again, you've just been talking about gay shit most of the time, Russell, right? I mean, that's really what most of the discourse has been about thus far. Gay shit. Lots of gay shit. Okay, so I understand you're gay, right? Yeah, I understand, mate. You don't have to. Did I tell you that I'm gay? Right? Yes, you did, mate. You did. But okay. Again, none of this really fills me with hope and glee. Fine. Watching him do that though does like Shooty look good in that scene. What's he like? What's the doctor like? What's Millie like? And I have to bite my lip. It's my job to keep quiet, but now at last I'm opening the doors to the great big party. And there's streamers in the air, fireworks, and we're invited to dance and Shooty and Millie. Come on and watch watch because this is fun. This is family. This is Christmas. Question is, what do you reckon the ratings is? Ratings are going to be. I reckon overnight. I think anything under 6 would be a disappointment, don't you? Even though I know the ratings have not been good, right? They have not been good. Doctor Who ratings accumulator. Doink. Okay, so the first special was, I mean, this should really do more than a special. This should, I mean, I don't know, it's 4.6. This has got to go up from 4.6 for the overnight, right? I reckon this AI is going to be high. Or AI, right? I don't know, audience appreciation index, right? And Dan says AI, I say AI, because this is AI right here. All right, I don't know. There you go. Fuck, what about it? Fine. Of course, it hit. You know, like having Sophia Boutella, whatever, star in Rebel Moon, didn't seem like it was trying to make a statement. But having Ruby being adopted by black lesbians does to me, right? It does. Of course, no great party is complete without great music. And wait until you get in here for all the music in this. Russell has used music to powerfully to power effects, and now it's almost as he's been let off his leash, and he really goes for it. Well, truth is, I watched Guardians of the Galaxy Christmas special again last night, and oh man, does that use music? It's fantastic. By the way, people who are pissed off about James Gunn's taking over the DC universe, you're crazy. Like again, that Guardians of the Galaxy special was perfect, right? Like literally the perfect Christmas special. Peacemaker was excellent. Suicide Squad was excellent. Guardians of the Galaxy has been excellent. Like everything I've seen him do has been spot on perfect. Now, look, if he was going to be in charge of a universe, I'd love to see him bring the 2000 AD universe to screen. Although I would like to see that for Zack Snyder as well. All right, I think I'd rather Zack Snyder bring 2000 AD universe to the screen. That's what it is, by the way. That's what a Rebel Moon is like. A good 2000 AD strip, right? It really is. It's like a good 2000 AD strip. Right, I got to add that in when I put the review up by itself. Fine, where we're up to. So you're talking about music. Yeah, as I was saying, because Guardians of the Galaxy really nailed the music. Carol Bells was surely made with a festive serial killer in mind. The whole episode is haunted by the Carol of Bells, which I've also found to be quite strange and unnerving song going along with God Rest You Merry Gentlemen. I like God Rest You. I like that. There's something insistent about it becoming important in future episodes as well. So keep your eye on the church because this is a because although this is a one-off story, the events in Ruby Road are going to play a huge part in the future. Okay, Dad, come back here. Where'd you go? No, doink. Music doesn't stop there though. We also have Ruby's band, which and then a massive musical big band number with music loving goblins who really go for it in a big way. And we set out to make a big movie, big star movie with this, and it's a song. You also get to you also can all sing along where it was always my intention to make a big centerpiece right there from day one. And Shooty sings, "This man can do everything." Russell has also revealed that we will soon be available. The song will also be available to stream. Watch out, Mariah Carey. Well, I think they did well getting it on the charts, right? Looks like you got to fight for Christmas #1 slot this year. Well, no, I think they blew their load a little bit too early, right? Right for the opening episode is so Christmassy. Russell was forthright with intentions here. It's Christmas Day, so literally scene one is a church of snow. It's this Dickensian without being Dickensian. It's pure Christmas. He has always delivered that. Always the best Christmas special have been Moffat's, I think. Right? I think Last Christmas was excellent, as was Christmas Carol. I thought that they were both excellent. This leads us back to the antagonist of the episode, where it's where we both get a delightful and terrible thing. We don't know how many. We don't know if many of them have read J.R. Tolkien's Letters from Father Christmas. I haven't. But you haven't. You're missing a treat. Okay. They tell of story of Father Christmas and the North Polar Bear and their non-stop battles against goblins. Goblins are the perfect festive villains. The Victorians loved them, but over the last half century, they seem to have fallen out of favor. Until now, yes, goblins are back in their horrid seasonal glory. Russell is just excited about their appearance. I sent the script to Stephen Moffat, right, as a mate, and he said, "Goblins, why have we never done goblins before?" I just hope they're like scientifically explained, right? I just hope they are. Oh, come back. No, I don't want that. 1 second. Well, we've never done goblins before. I think the Toymaker opened the door for us. He's been around since 1966. He's a fancy character. This isn't me rewriting the rules of Doctor Who. It's Doctor Who's flexibility. So magic and that is true. I hate to say it is true. So magic and supernatural and fantasy have always been around there on the edges. Sometimes there's sometimes, let's face it, the Doctor's a magic man in a magic box. Well, that's essentially what he is, right? You can still look at the goblins in a science fiction way. It's your choice. Well, I hope there is a science fiction way to look at them, right? But it's Christmas and the perfect Christmas villain. They're totally they've been there forever, and they're supposed to be a kind of mutated into elves, but they're very center stage. So we have it. Christmas. So there we have it. Christmas Day, shooting at where Millie Gibson, nasty rocking goblins, the snowy church, a foundling child, and Anita Dobson, Davina McCall. It's the perfect winter wonderland fest. Life just does not get any better than this. It's going to be a great Christmas, folks. Oh God, I tell you. Is Jason Quinn the editor? Because that was like painfully written. Yeah, one second. Who's calling? 1 second. My son's calling from Gaza. I should answer. Hey, Ariel, what's up? Hi, Daddy. Oh, well, good. I'm online right now. 1 second. Let me take your. Hey, dude. I'm online right now. Okay. Why does it keep going online? Oh, 1 second, because I'm on video. Okay, don't hang up. Somebody there knows me. Okay, what's going on? I can't see who you are. Who is that? It says poor connection. Oh, there he is. There he is. Okay. Can I? Oh, it's gone. Yeah, once it, my phone's not on Wi-Fi. That's why. Come on, mate. So somebody he's with knows. I couldn't tell who it was. Are you on Wi-Fi? Let's try again. I'll try calling back quickly. Video call. Right, video call is coming. Okay, live battlefield communication, ladies and gentlemen. Live battlefield communication. I know. So, by the way, yes, that was written by this guy. God. Hey, how you doing? What's up? Who? How you doing? I can hear you. Can't see you very well, but I can hear you. It's Steve who? What? I can't. I wish I could see you. It's making me crazy. Yeah, that's him. Yes, I claim responsibility for him. That's correct. Oh, they're frozen again. I can see the top of his face. What's his name? What's the name? Okay. Okay, well, one second. You're on loudspeaker. I'm doing a live stream. Don't say anything. Okay, well, I'm taking off loudspeaker. Right, well, okay. Military secrets. Okay, fine. Okay, well, I'll see you in a few weeks, I guess. Okay, I love you. I love you too. Bye. Call mommy. Okay, good. Bye. Okay, apparently he's going into Gaza now. Okay, there you go. It's a Christmas miracle. That means we won't be seeing him for a few weeks. Sorry about that. Family interlude. What can I tell you? So we got 35 minutes of the episode start. What does it sound like to you? I don't know. Yeah, I guess we're going to see very soon, right? We're going to see. But we have them saying stupid things all the time. Millie gives us from the Independent. New Doctor Who companion Millie gives them while looking very hot is also a kid, so she's going to say stupid things. There's so many controversial elements this season. It's what we need. It's not. Oh, for God's sake. Oh, Millie, darling, you're a little girl. I hate to be the one to tell you, like everyone, like all you kids, you're so confident, you know everything. You don't. You don't even. You like. Okay, you are the victim of a prolonged informational mind control program, right? So much so that you can't tell who's a boy and who's a girl anymore. All right, it's that you what you call controversial elements is there elements that we all disagree with. And the chat is talking about if Doctor Who is magic. No, it's not magic, but it incorporates magic into it and puts it in a scientific basis. A great example of that, I think, is Chimes of Midnight, right? Chimes of Midnight, they arrive, they're outside of time and space, sort of. The things keep impossible things keep happening. Like, there's a murder on the Chimes of Midnight on the hour, and everything's very theatrically produced. And eventually, it turns out that because they arrived where they did, that they caused the time paradox. That time paradox becomes sentient, and that sentient time paradox is essentially an evil ghost, right? So which controls reality, right? So you can have magic in it. I mean, look, you had the demons, right? Demons is sirens and witches. They're all aliens of great power. He's a doctor, not a sorcerer. Exactly, I agree with you. We're going to find out soon if that's the case, right? If you can read it either way, I don't know. It's like everything else I heard. It doesn't sound that good, right? It doesn't sound like it'll be that freaking good. Let's have a look at who else. I don't know. I know many a gay man who's just like the Doctor. Your Doctor, yeah. Time is ticking down for the 15th Doctor and his new companion, Millie Gibson's festive special. The pair talk about the adventures, togetherness, and abandoning your mum in space. Okay. Christmas and Doctor Who are inextricably linked. No, they're not. They are now, but they haven't always been. And now we have the return of the showrunner Rossi Davis kicking a brave new era after a damp squib of a 60th anniversary, right? Absolute failure. Kickstarting a brave era for heroic Gallifreyan Wanderer. I'm viewing this as a complete reboot, right? We're getting our first proper Doctor Who Christmas special in 2017, The Church on Ruby Road. Well, what makes this Christmas and Doctor Who such a good fit? I think families are shooting out. Well, I think you're probably right, actually. And yeah, Christmas is a holiday of contradictions to many, to a great extent, right? I mean, like family gets together. Normally they fight, but they don't. I mean, people just are happy. People are just nice to each other, right? When they're not, right? Which I think is a wonderful and great thing, right? And look, I will say the other day when we're doing the Christmas Carol, the Muppets Christmas Carol stream, which I really had so much fun doing. I'm so grateful for Dan and Star for joining me for that. What's the message of Christmas? Try not being a cunt. Just try not being a cunt, right? And then you might find your life is better for it. Just try not being a cunt. That's all you got to do. Try. Don't have to succeed. Just have it as a goal, right? Just have it as a goal, baby. Fine. They go hand in hand. I mean, it's Christmas Day. You get to sit down with your family, watch Doctor Who, and go on an adventure through time and space about a crazy man with a box. I understand that's the way they're saying it, but it has to not be just a crazy. I mean, when you pare it down, it's that. But it's like you've got to explain what that box is, right? It's fitting. Christmas is a holiday that revolves around the birth of a savior. And Doctor has gone more births and rebirths, deaths and renaissances than any other TV franchise. That's true. Debuting 60 years ago, it went from black and white to color, ferrying a generation of families through time-traveling escapades of 7 incarnations of the Doctor. It really was pretty much excellent all the way through. Doctor Who is an anti-authoritarian authority. And over here, we see, the queer as folk, it's the Sin Doctor, and it doesn't look like an authority to me. When the show was cancelled in 1989, the torch was carried by other mediums. The universally excellent, critically acclaimed Big Finish, well, excellent up until 2017, I would say. Audio's plays Steve. I mean, they really could have done well as well if they went hard traditional, right? When they were doing it at the same time as the novels and I can't remember if they're around the same time as New Adventures, but they were like a much more traditional take on Doctor Who. They really would have. They could have built up their audience rather than losing it. University and incredibly acclaimed Big Finish plays stepped up and continued this day with the classic Doctors and Commanders returning to voice their incarnations. Then Davis bought the show back in 2005, nearly destroyed Big Finish doing it. Right, they lost half their viewership, their audience. If they do that this year, they're screwed. A year later, the Christmas Invasion. The show's first Christmas special saw David Tennant's debut as the beloved 10th Doctor, and thus the tradition was born. Now, Doctor Who and Christmas are synonymous. That's very true. Look, it was nearly 20 years ago, so that's forever, I guess. And thus a tradition was born. Now, Doctor Who, even for people whose festive period isn't exactly a blissful time of family bonding, at least we can count of an hour of peace from the chaos, smiles Gatwa, an hour of peace from the madness of Christmas night. Christmas night's always fun. The Doctor has a particularly fraught relationship with Christmas. Their origins, frankly, a mess of contradictions. Well, they are now. And Gatwa's 15th Doctor is now having to contend with the fact that he's not even Gallifreyan. He probably has some quite funny relationship with Kristen, says Gatwa. It isn't joyous for everyone, and the Doctor is quite lonely. I think the Doctor has a loneliness, a sorrow, a sadness they're trying to fill with chaos and mischief. That's a fair take on the Doctor, I think. So I think they have quite a love-hate relationship with it. I started off disliking that take, but I kind of liked it as he went along. The Church on Ruby Road says Gut was Doctor encounter Ruby Sunday, a woman raised in foster care. Doctor Who has always dealt with family in fascinating ways, but but here it dives into the importance of a chosen family being just as vital as your biological one. I hate that, right? I absolutely hate that because it's not. I mean, it's good if you need it to be. Most people's biological family will die for you. And I hate this idea of trying to separate away your biological family, saying it's not as good as your chosen family, right? It's part of the reason Doctor Who has such a connection to the LGBT people, says Gutwa. No, it's not. Again, stop saying that you are the only marginalized people in the history of the. It's like ridiculous. Everybody watched Doctor Who felt marginalized, even their skin color was white and they were straight. Right? Everybody's felt marginalized. You have no monopoly on it. Oh God, you wear your suffering like it's a drama award. It's disgusting. We choose a family. The Doctor is a lonely wanderer looking for their next adventure. I know many a gay man. I could describe that way. He laughs. I think it's beautiful. Beautiful thing because because chosen family can be a meaningful one, more supportive and really more supportive is more supportive of your delusion. I'm a two-headed spirit horse. Oh well, of course you are. And it says so. It says you're not as a bad person, apart from your family who loves you. That really can be the case. You're saying, like, look, when a boy says I want to cuff my penis because I think I'm a girl. Yeah, and your family goes, no. I would say you're not the supportive one in that case. That really can be the case. It's no. It's the thing about that absolutely runs through the show. Well, I don't think it sounds like a good idea. Gatwa's 15th Doctor attempts to combat his cosmic loneliness by teaming up with Ruby, played by Millie Gibson, and much of the action in the Church on Ruby Road taking place at the foster home, where she continues to call home a warm, welcoming environment, which paints foster care in a refreshing, optimistic light. Okay, so the lesbian family sounds quite nice there. Ruby's grown up. As such a positive, loving way, says Gibson. She's obviously still missing a piece of her, not knowing that who her biological family is. That's obviously going to be a major thread. The Doctor doesn't even have a family, but Ruby is now in a way. But I don't even like the new TARDIS. It's way too big. It's such a beautiful theme, especially for a Christmas story. I asked Millie whether she has a real life companion of her own. Oh, my mum. She laughs. Then she leans down, revealing an enormous Christmas tree behind her. Concealing it, I didn't have a tree, and she got me one. That's something a companion would do. Would she travel across space and time with her mum? She raised an eyebrow. Oh my God, no. I would end up leaving her somewhere out of spite, and then we'll go, probably should have done that. I better go back. The Church on Ruby Road is a strange swashbuckling foray into a brave new era of Doctor Who. It is appropriately a gift. I asked Gutware if he'd get Doctor Who a present, were the opportunity to present itself. He gasps, I got the perfect answer for that. I think I'll get him I think I'll get in trouble for saying this. He cracks up. World peace. There you go. Brilliant answer. You get the Doctor world peace. Well, how long for? There's a twinkle in his eye that suggests it's probably not what he was going to say. Yes. Yes. get him a little twink. He'll like that. Like, it's gonna be something like that. But in this moment, he isn't Gutway. He's a doctor, transcendently charming, charming mischief maker. Okay, listen, we're gonna find out, mate. It's coming, right? It's coming. Fine. Now let's see what my first impressions of it were after watching it. The World of Doctor Who, I think, doing quite well. Quite frankly, I tell you, I just watched The Church on Ruby Road. I watched half of Unleashed. I watched the other half tomorrow. To me, it seemed like Doctor Who, right? It seemed actually like quite good Doctor Who. I'm intrigued to see what the reaction is going to be. It's different in a lot of ways, but I think it's different in the same way that Tom Baker's era was different from Patrick Troughton, right? It didn't feel painfully woke for me. It felt very authentically Doctor Who, right? It really did. We'll be going into it in much more detail. So I'm not sure if I'm going to stream tomorrow or I'm going to stream or wait till tomorrow's Tuesday. Right, yeah, I think I probably will stream tomorrow, do a Boxing Day stream, and do a like deep dive. We'll do it with like lots of screen grabs. I thought Ncuti Gatwa had just tons and tons of authority as a doctor. Convinced me he was a doctor throughout. There were the bits that I were nervous about weren't in any way as bad as I thought they would be. Like for me, you could go from Capaldi to this and without blinking, right? And it seems to be the same character, right? The essence of the Doctor has to be an anti-authoritarian authority, which is what I think Ncuti Gatwa is, right? And that's really what makes all good Doctors an anti-authoritarian authority. Look at Tom Baker, anti-authoritarian authority, right? All of them: Patrick Troughton, William Hartnell, John Pertwee. I think Peter Davis, even though he's a little bit less, more muted. Colin Baker, yes, absolutely, an anti-authoritarian authority. Same with Sylvester McCoy. Same with Paul McGann. Although Paul McGann was a bit of a pastiche on the Doctor. Then he had Christopher Eccleston, who was more like Shameless meets Doctor Who. Still anti-authoritarian, right? Wasn't happy to go along with the masses. David Tennant, Matt Smith. Yeah, so this fits into that mold, right? Capaldi absolutely fits in the mold. It's very, very modern. I don't know what not Yasmin. I don't know what Billy Gibbs was talking about. There weren't lots of controversial elements. There was one, right? And it wasn't really controversial, right? There were two, I would say, controversial elements in it, and they weren't that controversial in the end, right? If you're watching it, if you're trying to drown out the noise of culture war and just take it on its face value, solid, good Doctor Who, good opener for a Doctor, probably one of the better ones. Well, you're going to see my thought process live online, right, as we go through it tonight. But yeah, no, good Doctor. Millie Gibson, really good as a companion, and not just because she looks freaking gorgeous, but no, she's got that same quality of like with Ncuti Gatwa, like this is my best friend, which is how Liz Sladen described it. And you do get a fourth Doctor, Sarah Jane vibe from them. You really do, right? Or Joe Grant, third Doctor, right? I mean, of all the post 2005 Doctor Who's, I think this is probably the most authentically, traditionally classic. I think because there's no sexual element in it, which was really helpful. So you had that with Eccleston didn't really know how he was playing it until he got to the end of a run. Then you got David Tennant, and the whole like romance with Rose, I don't think really ever worked that well. Matt Smith was unaware that he was kind of hot, and Peter Capaldi, it was just not on his radar, right? Which was better for it, but it was saddled mostly with Clara, who kind of ran out of steam. Last Christmas should have been her last episode. I've said that so many times this Christmas. I watched it the other day, and then Bill Potts couldn't help but talk about she was gay every 20 minutes. So there wasn't a sexual chemistry thing, which was really good, right? But she just seemed like she seemed better suited to the role than Billie Piper was in Rose, and that I think that's a high bar. I think she did really well. But again, their companionship is really good. The story was light, fluffy, a bit silly. They don't explain they explain a little bit the science of the goblins, right? But this era is one that leads much more into time being mutable, right? They mentioned Mavity again, right? Mavity was the in the silly Isaac Newton scene, the with the was it Asian Isaac Newton, whatever it was called. It's they renamed Gravity Mavity. So I don't know, is that there for a dramatic reason? Is it there for a legal reason to separate this universe from previous Doctor Who universe? Oh, I know, Ncuti Gatwa filled the shoes of the Doctor in this one for me. I mean, it really did, right? Absolutely, really did. Fine. Let's talk about the episode, right? So again, I didn't take notes. I don't. This is my initial impressions. I wasn't going into it as open-minded as I wanted to be, because like everything's been really bad. I'm sorry, the whole 6th anniversary, complete dud, right? It was a complete dud, and there's so much obnoxious wokeness, and by that I mean screaming at me that men who not men, people with penises who believe themselves to be women have a valid identity, right? And look, we'll take a quick side step to discuss the transition, because trans is going to be a thing, as it was in this episode. So let's listen. I've said this many times now. If Rusty Davis or his ilk want to have a national conversation about being trans, I think I'm all for that. I think it's something that we actually do need, and there are some serious questions we need to answer. Right, like what do we do with women's spaces? When I say women's spaces, women without penises, right? What do we do about women's sports? And these are real questions, right? Equally, what do we do with the vast majority of the population who don't believe people with penises are women, right? So, like, if you want to have this conversation, that's good, but you don't. You kind of dogmatically tell us that people with penises are women. Anybody who thinks not is a bigot. Well, that's not true. I think here's the thing: Rusty Davis is very much of the opinion that the reason people are pushing back against drag and trans is because they do not expose enough of them. Russell, mate. There's no community has ever been this overexposed. It's ridiculous. Yes, no, we're all very exposed to it. And here's the thing: the trans world does better when it's less exposed, right? Because when it is exposed, it's a bit pervy. I hate to tell you, like the whole drag thing, a bit pervy, right? Especially when you need to do it with kids, it's a bit pervy, right? It's honestly, it's like war or eating meat. Everybody likes a good steak. Nobody likes going to an abattoir and seeing the reality behind that, right? Like war, the reality of war is a disgusting, terrible thing. That's why the Hamas keeps transmitting images of war from Gaza and say, "Look how awful the Jews are." Yeah, no, that's what war looks like, right? That's what war looks like, and this is. And so, if you want to get people on board for war, right, or on board for abortion or eating meat, you've got to insulate them from the realities of it. I think being trans is also like that, because I think being trans is a kink, right? I think part of that kink is being seen as that identity. So, so for me, I don't like it in the presence of children. I think it's very inappropriate, because I think you're enacting your sexual kink. But hey, this is the conversation. If you want to have this conversation, I'm up for having this conversation, right? Honest, without prejudice. That's the conversation. I don't think they're up for having this conversation, which is the real shame. There you go, on that side. Which is the shame of the matter. And again, we got to talk about things like female space, people without women without penises, right? Do they have rights? Do they have rights to women's sports? Do they have rights to, yeah, these are real, genuine issues which you can't just be glossed over by shouting at me out that I'm a bigot, right? I'm afraid. So I think so that is the big detriment to this era, right? Which was kind of very minor in this episode, right? It was very minor. Good news, however. Oh man, really good news for me. Disney Plus, somebody must have screamed at them. Aired the episode at the same time, so I was able to watch it on my big screen, which was really nice. I started watching it with the VPN on my computer. And I thought, 10 minutes, I'll just check to see if it's on Disney Plus. And it was, right? And it was. The story is light. It's frothy. It's a Christmas special, right? It's not meant to be complicated. It's meant to grab people and give them an entertaining time and bring them into Doctor Who, right? That's the function of this episode, to grab people, give them an interesting time, give them a fun time. This was a fun ride. I'm sorry, it was. It genuinely was a fun ride. And again, Shooting Gatwa wasn't it that much. It was more focused on Millie Gibson's Ruby Sunday, but it was. He really sold it as a Doctor, right? Really, really, really sold it as Doctor with as much authority as Tom Baker as a Doctor. I mean, really, surprisingly, how much he sold it as the Doctor, right? And look, for me, him being black was a non-issue. I know some of you, it's a major issue. For me, it's a genuine and I don't think you're racist if you think it's an issue. Yeah, for 6 years, the character's been white. I hear that, right? Why do I hear it? Because it's true, right? I do hear that. For me, it's not an issue. But again, I'm kind of viewing this as a somewhat of a reboot, which it kind of is. Honestly, now looking at it, I think the 60th anniversary was a detriment to it rather than a benefit. Because I think that those three stories were just tired, backward-looking, woke, lecturing, and screamed at me that David Tennant was really over the hill, right? David and Catherine Tennant, and Ralph C. Davis all seem to be really over the hill. Now, my best hope was they will be reinvigorated for this new era, which they are, right? So I'm very, very happy about that. And yeah, I think, look, for me, I wouldn't go far as say excited because I've been, kicked in the balls a lot and I have no idea what the future will bring. But I am looking forward to seeing this first season now, right? Again, it was a slight story. It wasn't like a complex story because it was a Christmas story, right? It's a frothy adventure essentially designed to reintroduce people to Doctor Who. I thought the performances were good. I thought Ncuti had, as I said, tons of authority. I thought Millie Gibson was great as a companion. Had their relationship seemed authentic. And again, we'll talk about the two. I would say cringy moments, right? Cringy moments, but it's important not to get caught in a bubble, baby. Don't get caught in a bubble, especially. And I want to be very clear, especially when you're farting, right? Don't get caught in a bubble. Not good. My name's Tzvi Lebetkin, the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring that little bell. Ring the little bell so you are notified when new videos drop.